ahead and take a walk. I just want to see how you're walking first. Okay, and let's turn around. Okay, good. And you can go ahead and stop. I'll turn this way. All right, so I noticed that you don't have your knees fully straight when you're walking. Do you notice that at all?
A little bit.
Okay, so what we're going to try and work on, we're trying to get that knee as straight as we can while we walk for each leg. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over to this plinth first. And I'm going to take this from you. And I'm going to hold this leg here. So what we're doing is we're strengthening this leg, this quad right here. So I'm going to hold it back, and I want you to bring this toe out and back in. Good. Out again and back in. And this is keeping this leg as straight as you can. Nice and tight. Good. All right, now can you lift that right leg for me? This would be a progression. Good. And keep this leg nice and tight. Good. Okay. And next, I want you to step over a cone. So I'm going to give you this back as I set this up. This would be another progression. So I'm going to place this cone right here, and I want you to try and step over it. And I'll take this cane this time. And keeping this left leg nice and tight, knees straight. And back. Good. One more time. Okay. All right, and now let's do it on the other side. So go ahead and turn around. You can use this if you need to. Good. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Okay, so now I want you to keep this right leg nice and tight. And toe in and out on your left. Good. Okay, and now to progress that, we'll pick that leg up again, that left leg, keeping this right one nice and straight. All right, next, let's go ahead and step over that cone. Keep that right leg nice and tight, and back. And one more time. Good, and back. Okay, so next, I want you just to walk again. I want you to try and focus on really getting that knee nice and straight. So this will help with walking in general. And getting that full knee extension will help with your step length, because your step length is kind of short right now, so you want to lengthen that so you're able to walk nice and fluid. Okay. And also when you step, to try and get that heel contact first, okay, instead of your whole foot first. Okay. Nice and straight. And again. And that left one. All the way out. Okay, go ahead and turn around. Nice and straight with the right, and nice and straight with the left. Nice big steps. Straight, straight, good. Okay, good. So what I'm looking for as we do this, I just like to see that full knee extension and that heel contact, which you were doing great with. So looks good.
Thank you.
Go. Okay, Alex, so we worked on trying to get that full knee extension. Next, we're going to try and strengthen that quad. So I have a little box here for you, and what you're going to do is you're going to step up onto it, all the way up, and straighten that leg, okay, and then back down. And we'll do it with both legs. And I really want you to focus on getting that full knee extension, straightening that knee, and also being able to pick those toes up for dorsiflexion and stepping onto that, because that's what we use when we walk as well. Okay. So go ahead and try with your right first. All the way up and down. Good, and really focus on kicking those toes up. Good, nice knee extension. And let's try on the left too. Nicely done. Okay, all right, and I'm gonna have you stand there. I'll switch the box out. So to progress that, we'll use a bigger box. And we'll do the same thing. And this one's higher, so you're gonna really have to pick your toes up to get up on that box. Let's try it with your right. All the way up, good, and down. And left, and right. Good. And now let's try the left. Really pick those toes up, all the way, good. Again. Okay, and we'll do it one more time with a bigger box. This would be another progression. All right, and same thing with your right. Good. All right, so why we're doing this is because we want to strengthen those quads. You're not getting enough knee extension, so that's part of the reason. They're a little weak. And we're also looking to make sure that you're able to pick your feet up enough to step onto that box and all the way up. All right. Okay, Alex, so I noticed while we're walking, we also have decreased hip extension, so you're not able to get your hip back far enough to allow you to be able to swing it forward.
Okay.
And that's also decreasing your step length again. So we're gonna work on that. And we're going to start in the position where you're fully back, and this stretches your hip flexors, which helps them pull your leg forward.
Okay.
And I want you to focus on that part of it, as well as kicking your toes up to clear the floor as we do it. So I want you to bring this right leg back as far as you can, a little bit further, even a little bit more, good. Okay, so there's stretch here, and I want you to try and kick your leg forward. So I'm going to give you a little cue here and kind of help you along the way. So go ahead and try and kick. Good. All right, and back. And up all the way, and again. Okay. And back. And this time really focus on getting those toes up. And good. All right, so now the progression to that is we're going to put a cone there so that you have something to actually step over.
Okay.
So go ahead and a little further back. Yep. And again. Up and over. Good. And one more time. Up and over. Okay. And then next we're going to kick the cone. So go ahead and stand there for me. So this one is actually going to help you get that toe up as you try and kick that cone. And we'll see if that's in a good place or not. So go ahead and bring your leg back again. Okay. And then kick that cone. Nice. All right, and one more. And kick back up. All right, good. So what we're doing there again is we're working on your hip extension, and next we're going to work on strengthening that muscle back there as well. But for this one, we're just working on that to be able to get you to bring that leg forward as far as you can to get that step length correct. And I'm just looking at compensations and symmetrical weight bearing. And you were doing really well on this leg. You were able to keep that one nice and tight, which we worked on earlier. So that was all good. Okay, Alex, so again, we're going to be working on that hip extension. I want to strengthen this muscle back here so that when you're able to actually have that muscle back here in the gait cycle and swing your leg forward for that step clearance that we've been working on.
Okay.
All right, and during these activities, I still want you to keep this thigh muscle here nice and tight because we're also working on that as well.
Okay.
So what I'm going to have you do first, we're going to be kicking this cone backwards. So the first one, I'm just going to have it nice and close, and it'll just be a little motion. So I'm going to have it right here, and go ahead and try and kick that. Good. Okay. All right, and then we'll do one more. And go ahead. Good. Okay, so next I'm going to bring it out even further. So you're really going to have to reach back. Okay. So try that again. Go ahead. And one more there. Okay, so this last one, I'm going to put it way back here. And this is just a target, so I just want you to try and kick that far as back as you can. So really extend that hip. So go ahead and try and kick that cone way back there. Okay, that's okay. And again. Alright, let me move it out to the side actually. There, now you think you can get it. Almost. One more time. That's okay, you're still getting the motion here is what I'm actually looking for. I want you to be able to use these glutes back here, and you were using those, so that's good still. So again, the point of this was to try and get that hip flexion, and by doing that, by stretching that hip flexor here during the extension. All right, so we're working on that hip extension and limb propulsion, and trying to get that nice big step length and foot clearance.